coming in from Mohali. Two big revelations coming in on the Mohali blast case that took place yesterday. CNN News 18 now accessing the CCTV visuals of the attack on the Punjab Intelligence Headquarters. Also, these pictures that you see on your screens, exclusive pictures of the rocket launcher that was used for the attack. These pictures coming by way of Tejinder Singh, who's all right. We'll try and go across to Tejinder, who will be joining us in just a bit from Jammu on the phone line. But these two pictures that you're seeing are a mega CNN News 18 exclusive. Two sets of pictures that talk to you about the conspiracy at play. These are concerned to the Mohali blast case, where we are now getting you CCTV pictures on your screens of the attack on the Punjab Intelligence Headquarters in Mohali. Tejinder, we do understand that in some senses the Intelligence Headquarters is more important, I would say, even than the police headquarters. And the very fact that the Intelligence Headquarters was targeted was a signal, was a message. These pictures that you're getting to us, and these are CCTV pictures, what do they tell us about the attack?
Shreya, these are the pictures which have been exclusively accessed by CNN News 18, which clearly show the moment when the attack on the intelligence wing headquarters of the Punjab Police took place. This was a rocket-propelled grenade launcher that was launched on the police intelligence headquarters, and also the launcher used was also recovered last evening. A rag picker in the area, she spotted the casing of the rocket launcher, and then she informed the police. So clearly, as you pointed out, that the intelligence wing of any police department is more important, because this is the organization which keeps an eye on all anti-national activities. So the police, you see, in such a scenario, this was a prime target, because if you see in the recent past, there have been reports that
Tejinder, can I interrupt you here, because your audio is not very clear. We'll try and fix your audio in just a bit. Till then, let me quickly go across to Manjinder Singh Sirsa of the BJP, who's joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Sirsa, thank you very much for your time. As we look at these pictures coming in, and these are exclusive CCTV pictures of the attack and the rocket launcher there that was, that was discovered by a rack picker, as my colleague Tejinder is pointing out. Mr. Sirsa, I just want to ask you, my own sense is that if the Punjab Police intelligence headquarters is targeted, that itself is a failure on the part of the intelligence department, that you couldn't even figure out that your headquarters was going to be targeted.
Very true. This is the most important thing, that the headquarters of the intelligence wing is being targeted. You know why? You know why? Reason being, the intelligence was here in Delhi, looking after Bagga, looking after Priti Gandhi, looking after Alka Lamba or Kumar Vishwas. They were targeting them. The entire wing was sitting here. See, you need to set your priorities. Jab tak aapki priority kya hai? I think Punjab Police priority and Bhagwant Manji's priority was not at all that they have to tackle the lawmen and this terrorist there in Punjab. Their priority was to teach a lesson to their political opponents, and that is the reason the battery failed. So you need to set your priorities. Today also you see what the government is doing. Now the control is with Arvind Kejriwal, and I must remind you. Take the history, we should learn from the past. Whenever the government of India or anybody has to try to control through remote control, as did the Gandhi family in the 90s, the same problem happened in Punjab. Because you are not aware of the ground situation of Punjab, and you are trying to run the government through remote control. And same thing is Arvind Kejriwal trying to do. You cannot run Punjab by remote control.
Mr. Sirsa, can I ask you this question? And I want you to be fair here to the new Chief Minister of Punjab. After one incident or two incidents, is it fair to say that terrorism is making a comeback to Punjab, that the Khalistani movement is finding new ground just because, you have a weak Chief Minister in place?
No. I would never say that. Bhagwant Mann is not a weak Chief Minister. Neither I will say that the Punjab Police would ever let it happen. I'm too confident about both things. But one thing is for sure, that Arvind Kejriwal is not letting Bhagwant Mann act independently. Bhagwant Mann is very well aware of the facts of Punjab because he is from Punjab, and I'm sure we will beat them. They will never get a ground here in Punjab. But even a smallest incident gives you a bad name and a bad shape. This is the most important. I'm not blaming Bhagwant Mann, but I just want to say, Bhagwant Mann, be brave. We are with you. Take your stand. We are we will support you everywhere. But please, please don't surrender to Arvind Kejriwal because he got a different agenda.
Okay.
And Punjab should never set Arvind Kejriwal's agenda. He's using Punjab as a springboard to reach high.
Okay.
Please, you need to understand this.
Okay, we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there for the moment. बहुत लोग कहेंगे आप फूट कराने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं between Bhagwant Mann and Arvind Kejriwal, but that's a discussion for another time. Let me go across to Ritanshu, who's live with us from the newsroom, and he's showing us the visuals more carefully and what these visuals are really telling us about the blast that took place in Mohali. Ritanshu, over to you.
Thanks indeed, Shreya. And yes, we have got this footage here and we've been trying to analyze and going through it with a hair-tooth comb. So what do we know? We know that on Monday at around 11 o'clock, there was a white Swift which passed by the intelligence headquarters in Mohali. This is that car. You can just see it for a split second, but but right before the car passes by, there's a flash. Now that, Shreya, according to intelligence agencies, is that RPG or the rocket propelled grenade being fired, which is why there's a flash, followed by the car going through. Now, again, intelligence sources, preliminary information suggested that it was a white Swift. We are not sure whether that has been confirmed or not, but this car, we do see on CCTV moments, just at that specific moment of the attack, shows perhaps an RPG being launched from the car. Remember, initial details had come to us from Arunama Singh. There was no CCTV cameras directly at the spot. There were footages being taken from other buildings and from mobile towers, so which is why it's a bit grainy. But this is what intelligence agency is looking at. If this was the car which launched the RPG on the intelligence headquarters in Mohali. Shreya,
Okay,
back to you.
so Ritanshu, what you're getting us essentially is that moment when the RPG was fired. Thankfully, there were no casualties because it was 11 o'clock, as Ritanshu pointed out. There was no one in the building. So therefore, Tejinder, the question is, what was the message being sent out? Because, you can argue that if the idea was to kill or harm, then these terrorists, and this is a terror attack, let's not make a mistake about it, then these terrorists would have targeted the building in Mohali, the intelligence headquarters building in Mohali at a time when the staff was present there, right?
See, Shreya, as we were discussing earlier, you see the intelligence wing of any police department is there to preempt any terror attack.
Correct.
And this is the organization which gathers the information, give it to the executive police and also other agencies so as to make sure that any terror threat is neutralized before the terrorists could strike. So targeting the intelligence wing of the Punjab Police is a symbolic gesture by the terror outfit just to send out a message that you know nothing about us. And this is a very serious thing that has happened in Punjab because intelligence wing is expected to know beforehand of any such attack. You see, I have been speaking since this attack took place around 48 hours ago. I have been speaking to some of the senior police officials in Punjab, though they say that they knew that some type of attack is going to happen, but if they had no information that this is going to happen in Mohali, and that too at the very heart of the intelligence wing of the entire Punjab Police. So this has also raised very serious questions on the working of the intelligence wing of Punjab Police, though right now various other agencies, including the NIA and other sister security agencies, they are working in a coordination to find out the terrorists who are responsible. We know that around 11 people have so far been detained. One has been arrested in this connection. Yesterday evening, the launcher used to fire the RPG was recovered. So the police is investigating and they have certain leads. Yes, Shreya.
Thank you very much there, Tejinder. Getting in another political reaction as we see these pictures come in. Harjeet Singh Garewal of the BJP is joining us as well. Harjeet, me and my colleagues have been talking about the fact that it's a double insult, or this is really egg on the face of Punjab's intelligence agencies if they couldn't even preempt this attack on their own headquarters. What does this tell you really? Because there is some sort of messaging that is coming in from the terrorists who have perpetrated this act.
ऐसा है, सबसे बड़ी बात तो ये कि ये पंजाब पुलिस बहुत ब्रेव फोर्स है। जहां भी दुनिया में आतंकवाद पैदा हुआ, जड़ से कहीं खत्म नहीं हुआ, सिर्फ पंजाब में हुआ। उसमें पंजाब पुलिस का बहुत बड़ा रोल है, तो हम इस पे प्राउड भी कर सकते हैं। मगर बदकिस्मती से इसको डीजीपी ऐसा मिला जिन्होंने बार बार स्टेटमेंट दी और उन्होंने पंजाब पुलिस की क्रेडिबिलिटी पे भी प्रश्न चिन्ह लगा दिया कि कभी तो ये टेरर अटैक हो सकता है, कभी ये नहीं हो सकता है, कभी कुछ। उनको प्रॉपर इन्वेस्टिगेशन के बाद ही कोई कमेंट्स करने चाहिए थे, इतनी जल्दी नहीं बोलना चाहिए था। और दूसरा, जो सरकार है पंजाब की, वो पंजाब पुलिस को दूसरे कामों में लगाए हुए है और अपने विरोधियों को नापने में लगी हुई है। मगर उनको चाहिए कि पंजाब पुलिस को पुलिस का काम करने देना चाहिए, उसके डे टू डे अफेयर्स में इंटरफेयर नहीं करना चाहिए। ये कोई बहुत बड़ी समस्या नहीं है पंजाब के लिए और ये बहुत बुरी बात है जो घटना हुई है। और इस घटना को भी पंजाब पुलिस, मेरा ख्याल, इसकी जड़ तक पहुंच जाएंगे। ये इंटेलिजेंस फेलियर भी है, मैं ये कहूंगा। और जब इनके पास अगर इनपुट्स थी पहले, तो इन्होंने उसके अरेंजमेंट्स क्यों नहीं किए और वो वहाँ पे सीसीटीवी क्यों नहीं थे और क्या बात थी और प्रॉपर वहाँ पे सिक्योरिटी क्यों नहीं थी। और ऐसे ये नहीं होना चाहिए। 700 मीटर से, अगर 1000 मीटर से भी हो तो वो वहाँ पे बहुत बड़े बड़े ऑफिसर बैठते हैं, बहुत बड़ी इन्वेस्टिगेशन होती है, तो उसकी भी सुरक्षा नहीं है, तो पंजाब के लोगों को क्या सुरक्षा देंगे? ये सरकार के लिए भी प्रश्न चिन्ह है, पंजाब गवर्नमेंट के लिए। तो ये इनको अब अपने रास्ते जो है सुधारने चाहिए, इनको सोचना चाहिए, क्योंकि मैं समझता हूँ कि इनएक्सपीरियंस्ड गवर्नमेंट है, नए लोग हैं, उनका तजर्बा भी उन्होंने लेना है, पर उनको संभल के चलना चाहिए और ये जरूरी है।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हरजीत सिंह गरेवाल जी हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए। द बीजेपी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू कमिंग थ्रू। देयर इज मोर